What is up, guys? We have gone from one weather extreme to the other. We were in a nice rain pattern, getting rain to the tune of maybe 2 inches every single week, to an absolute drought. So I got kind of a couple of new areas I just finished clearing, and it is just bone dry. So I cleaned up along my levees where we got a nice band, and I want to try to get something growing, but it is totally dry. So unfortunately, somebody stole my other trash pump out of our barn. So I went today, I picked up a new 3-inch semi-trash pump from Harbor Freight. I got it pumping. I'm gonna put a little bit of water into the pond in some of these dry areas to try to wet the ground. It's super late in the year, but we need to get some forage growing for these crawfish and for our ducks. So I actually planted it about 2 weeks ago, and surprisingly you can see a few little sprouts. I think that's mostly the millet actually sprouted, which is Japanese millet, so it'll take some flooding as long as I don't submerge it. So I'm gonna saturate the ground, basically put as much water as it'll soak up, and that'll be that. We'll let it grow and probably flood the crawfish pond second week of October, something like that. So as long as this millet and rice gets up 8 or 10 inches high, we should be okay. And I think it'll do that if I can keep a little bit of water on it. So for comparison, this is kind of the area I planted very first, out along here, this side of the pond. And this area I decided not to work along the levees because I didn't want to do compaction around too much of the levees due to that's where all the crawfish burrow in, and I didn't want them too much area to be compromised from them. But I've had a little bit of a fall armyworm issue. You can see a lot of this is kind of chewed up, but it looks like the sorghum Sudangrass at least is kind of powering through it. So this stuff, I mean, it's thigh high on me, so it's getting up some decent height. The problem with the sorghum Sudangrass is it won't grow anymore once I flood it up. But if you look down in it, what's good is a lot of this stuff is starting to tiller. So if you see like this right here, it's starting to get multiple stems and it's really thickening up. And man, there's a lot of pest damage in here, but hopefully we get about 3 more weeks of growth and this stuff will get up about 6 foot tall and have some good biomass on it. And it looks like we have a little bit of rice, but the rice is not doing like I would like. So for comparison, the big stuff right here is the sorghum Sudangrass. And then here's your rice is right here. It's only about 6 inches tall. Now it's getting shaded out. I was kind of thinking that a lot of the rice would grow in some of the wetter lower areas, but it was so dry, we didn't have much of that. Now I got this one little band from where I dug some dirt to build the levee, and I see some brown top millet and a few sprigs of rice in it, and a fair amount of rice right along the edge. So I think we'll end up with a really good mix of forage. So there's a bunch of weeds mixed in, like I said, and we have some of this stuff, which I believe that's Sesbania. Some people call it like coffee bean tree or something like that, but it's in the legume family. And as long as we don't get too much of that in the pond, like you can see there's a few here, there's a couple big ones along the levee, it makes a really good forage, but it can get overwhelming in the pond and really just choke the pond out. So like right now, when you look straight up ahead, there's another one right up there. I think we have kind of a healthy amount of Sesbania. We got a fair amount of weeds. We got a good amount of growth of at least the sorghum Sudangrass. Like I said, the rice may come in a little later or even into the spring if it can stay above the water in the pond. But overall, I think I'm very happy with what we got going on so far in the crawfish pond. And this is, like I said, after about 3 weeks after I planted the first area. So it looks like the pump did a good job. We got a nice, good sized area, nice and saturated, it ought to grow good. So now my little buddy Dave, he helped me go plant the next section, and we're gonna move the pump down the way so we can wet down the next little area and get some good growth. Ready to help me move that pump, Dave? So there we go, we got some water going in the next big spot. This is the area you helped me plant just a few minutes ago, huh? So I'm thinking if we can get this all wet, it's gonna grow good.